Hey people, welcome back to another preview, but this time around is going to be the second leg of the AFL semi-final between Manchester City and Newcastle. Now, the first leg ended obviously in favor of Manchester City winning the game 2-0, and I feel like it was just a very mature performance from Man City. I'm looking at the fact that they are also competing in all four fronts: Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, which they qualified to the fourth round, and now the second leg of the EFL. And I feel like Man City has been quite interesting this season. I feel like there are games where I feel like they've been up and down, especially in the Premier League, Champions League also, but somehow they've been able to get to the semi-final of the EFL, and now they're going to be taking on Newcastle for the second leg. As I said earlier, Man City won the first leg 2-0. And it's quite interesting to see what happened at the weekend in the Premier League for match day 24, when Man City played out a 2-2 draw against Tottenham. Now, if you had asked me before that game, I did expect Man City to win that game, probably 2-0 straight. And they had 2 goals in the first half. You know, I actually thought Tottenham were going to struggle, probably lose the game by maybe 4 goals, expecting Man City to score another 2 goals in the second half. But it was a different case entirely. And I think it's one thing we've seen with Manchester City so far this season: how they play well in some games, they struggle in some games, more defensively, where they are finding it difficult to balance the defense. However, for Newcastle also, they lost their game in a terrible manner to Liverpool. Yes, Liverpool were at home, but you know, with the performance that they gave midweek against Paris Saint-Germain, I did expect them to turn out better. But unfortunately, they scored the first goal, and then from there, it was all Liverpool. And I felt like the energy that they did put into that game against Paris Saint-Germain midweek did show in that game, I think more in the second half, where they conceded about, I think, 2 goals or 3 goals. About 2 goals, because the first half ended 2-1. Abby Barnes scoring the first goal, obviously, for Newcastle, before Ugo Ekitike scoring the but literally almost 2 to 3 minutes between the 2 goals they scored in the first half. But when I look at Newcastle, I feel like I would say a little bit impressed with them, because they are also competing on about 3-4 fronts. Also, they are trying as much as possible to, you know, move into the top 10 of the Premier League. They are also one of the teams, unfortunately, that has to play the playoffs, maybe let me say Premier League teams, in the Champions League, and then they are also into the 4th round of the FA Cup, and now they have to play the second leg of the EFL. I feel like they are trying to be competitive in all 4 competitions, and I think it's going to be really difficult. I feel it's going to be really difficult. But you know what? I don't think there's any strange thing that we've not seen in football. I feel like if Man City don't turn up and they have that shambolic defense against Newcastle this time around, there's a chance that Newcastle might want to, you know, surprise everyone and probably score, you know, maybe get the 2 goals and then wait for penalties. But I actually think it's going to be really difficult, especially if Man City scored the first goal. So if Man City scored the first goal, they're already 3 goals up, and I don't think there's anything Newcastle can do about that, because at that point they might probably have to score 4 goals or score 3 goals also to have a chance of getting to penalties. But I think it's going to be really difficult. I've just come to understand that when it comes to football, you really never can push any team aside, or you think, oh, they won't perform well, and they end up surprising you, especially if the team that you think, quote unquote, is supposed to win and they don't turn up, right? So I've seen it happen time and again in football. But this time around, I think it's going to be an easy outing for Manchester City. Pep Guardiola is going to want to get over that 2-2 performance against Tottenham at the weekend quickly, get his team into rhythm again, and ensure that they get to the final of the AFL. He will definitely be looking to win the first title of the season, looking that they had no titles at all last season, and this EFL will actually be a chance for them. So definitely it wants to get to the final, which will be played at Wembley, and it's going to be quite, as I said, quite surprising to see how that game turns out. Now, whoever it is that wins, obviously, is going to be playing against what's it called? Either Chelsea or Arsenal, who are going to be playing their own second leg EFL semi-final game also on Tuesday. So it's going to be quite interesting, as I said, to see what happens in that game. But regardless, I think that it's going to be maybe an easy outing for Manchester City in this one. They should be able to pick up all 3 points in that game. Well, that's my thought. Share yours in the comment section, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you guys for keep sharing the channel, and I see how our subscribers keep improving, keep increasing. It's all down to you guys, and I really appreciate and love you guys for that. So please do keep subscribing, sharing the platform, and yeah, the family continues to grow, right? And then also ensure to put on your post notification button to get our latest video when they drop. But most importantly, follow us on all our social media platforms on @_official_FSH. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining me again today. And as I said, share your thoughts in the comment section. I am quite interested to see what you guys have to say about it. But anyways, enjoy the rest of your day. Bye bye.